Time I remember being in Chicago with you was when you beat Phil Davis.
Yep.
So kind of a good omen, right?
Great omen.
Let me start by asking, obviously, we move back to light heavyweight. How is the body feeling, and how much different do you feel from the few fights you had at middleweight?
The body feels amazing. You know, just being able to be at my natural weight has allowed me to, you know, I guess turn back the hands of time a bit. You know, I felt like stressing my body out, cutting so much weight, having to keep it at that weight. You know, it hurt my body a bit. You know, but now I'm great right now. You know, I feel amazing competing at just. I mean, I have energy out of this world right now.
Do you, I know regret's a tough word, do you regret trying middleweight?
No, I don't regret it. I don't regret it. You know, it's always something that I wanted to do, and I'm glad that I did it. It's just, you know, sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze, and sometimes it's not.
How big is this fight for you in terms of your career? I mean, obviously you've accomplished so much in your career, but obviously no one wants to have, you know, several losses in a row. I mean, how big is this fight for you?
It's a big fight just for me personally, you know, just because I want to go out there and I want to have a good performance for myself. But outside of that, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. I can't get in my mind and be like, oh, this is gonna be the biggest fight of my career, and you know, it is what it is. And you know, win, lose, or draw, life will go on no matter what.
There's no perfect, like, right or wrong answer for a fighter's career. Like, will you fight till you're 46, like Randy Couture, or Michael Bisping, who just retired at 38, I believe is what he was.
Yeah.
Where do you feel like health-wise, mind-wise, like where you're at in your career? Because you have done a lot. You have other stuff that you can do if you wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, do you put a time limit, or do you just say, I'm going to have fun, so I'm not having fun anymore?
I don't put a time limit. Yeah, that's exactly it. I just say I'm going to have fun, so I'm not going to have fun anymore. And you know, it's hard to say like when that time is going to be, and or what events are going to bring that on. But for the longest time, I used to operate under fear of, you know, what's going to happen when I can no longer do this, or when it's all over. And I don't know. I no longer have that fear anymore. You know, if it all ended tomorrow, I'd be like, it was a great ride. You know what I'm saying? Because it was. You know, I had a great time. I've learned a lot about myself, and I was able to touch a lot of people, and to do some things in my life that I never thought I was going to be able to do. So this sport, this opportunity, this stage has provided me with so much, and you know, I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm just thankful.
What is your opinion of being on the Fight Pass prelims? You know, some people see it as a slight. Other people say, hey, you're getting the main, you know, the featured bout on Fight Pass. It's always a good spot. Where do you fall in that argument of like where you're at in the card?
I don't care, to be honest. You know, at the end of the day, I fight and I do my thing. I'll be on pay-per-view anyways, because they're gonna put it on pay-per-view if I do my thing. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. You know, I fought at the top and I fought at the bottom, and everything happens for a reason. So I don't look at things like this and look at it as a slight. I look at it as, you know, there's something that I need to still learn in myself. You know, maybe there's a piece of me, or a piece of my ego that needed to be shed a little bit more in order for me to become the person that I need to be. Either way, I don't feel slighted at all. It just is what it is.
It's kind of funny. You're moving from middleweight to light heavyweight, and the first guy you're fighting is a guy who's moving from middleweight to light heavyweight. Is it kind of funny you get another guy who was a middleweight, like, you know, 6 months ago?
It's a match made in heaven. These guys, you know, it's great. It's great. When I found out he was moving up and we were gonna fight, I was like, it's great then, you know, because you know, he's a middleweight guy as well. So you know, he wants to come in and he wants to make a stamp, and he wants to show the light heavyweight division that, you know, he's something to be reckoned with, and I think he's going to bring the best out of me.
Last question for you, Rashad. This is kind of off the subject a bit, but what are your most famous fights? One of your most famous knockouts that I was at in Atlanta, Georgia, when you knocked out Chuck Liddell. I don't know how much you remember that. Silence in the crowd. Do you remember like that moment? Like, obviously, you've heard Chuck is coming back, or he's planning on coming back. What are your thoughts on that? As a guy who fought Chuck, and I'm sure you respect Chuck, do you think he should be coming back at 48?
I love Chuck, you know, and if he feels like he's healthy enough to do it, then why not? You know, I think that he may have he may have left a little bit in the gas tank just because he may have felt he had other opportunities and made him pull away from the sport. But you know, the body's an amazing thing, and given enough time off, you know, maybe he was able to heal himself up and get himself back ready to where he feels he's ready to compete. But I know that he's got a good team around him, and I don't think that they would advise him to take a fight if physically he just wasn't able to do it.
Would you watch him and Tito a third time?
Hell yeah, I'll watch him and Tito a third time. And that's another thing. It's not like he's fighting somebody who's not at the same level that he's at. You know what I'm saying? Him and Tito. You know, Tito is they're along the same path. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he's fighting a guy who's like 20 years younger. Then that'll be a different story altogether. You know?
Yeah. Thanks, Rashad.
No problem. Thank you.